All right, welcome back, ladies and worms. We got another one on the bench here. It's a 98, late 97, early 98, 4L60E. The complaint was that they lost reverse, so we're expecting to see typical sun shell breakage. They really couldn't confirm whether or not which gears were missing, but if the shell did break, we should be missing second and fourth as well. So they would have had first and third, and that's it. Really not too much else. I mean, it is older, it's a 98, so you got the pilot tip shaft. Stator tube looks pretty good. I don't see any wear to the splines on it at all. Input shaft looks fine. Looks like it's got a rear main leak. Got some oil collecting, kind of normal for the Chevys. Let's delve into it and see what we find on it here. Like I said, I'm expecting just to see like a reverse shell and damages to that. We're probably going to see a worn reverse input drum and things like that, which is kind of common, hand in hand with it. Really, they're real bad for wearing anyway, so 9 times out of 10 the reverse input drum needs changed or machined, a new one put in or a machined one, and then shim out the band pin spacing. Set the bell housing aside. Unzip your bell bolts off here, or the pump bolts. I mean, something else to mention, like a lot of people I've seen, like units that come in and supposedly rebuilt, they won't replace those O-rings. I mean, it's in the overhaul kit, you should. Like what I do is I will replace them and also put a tiny little bead of silicone around the base of the O-ring. It'll eliminate any type of leakage from that area. They're not too known really for leaking too bad. 700s, yeah, but these not so much. Let's get the 2.4 servo out of here. Let's make sure it's loose. Grab my channel locks. Thought I had everything out that I needed, so I wouldn't have to go to the toolbox. Yeah, if you're careful, I mean, in the car it's kind of hard to do. You can still do it from the bottom because there is another access point, but I just try and grab my pick. It's going to get a new O-ring. I just try not to break them, but sometimes they'll break it just from being old. Just grab a hold of that ring, pull on a little while you're pulling out, and then you can, if you need to save the O-ring, you can save it that way, so you could technically reuse it. Just kind of normal dirt, nothing crazy. Inside bore looks good. That's your fourth apply servo. This is your second. Pin looks okay. Standard truck servo. Doesn't look too bad. Don't see any gouging. Looks pretty smooth inside the bore, just real dirty. Get that out of the way. Those anymore. Put these back. Alright, now we've already drained it, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty dark. I mean, it's still got some red to it, but it's definitely in need of a build. There's not, like I said, we already had the pan off. The magnet's got, decent, kind of normal really for the mileage and the year of it. Get this fluid out of the way. Don't smell too bad, so I mean it's just slightly discolored, so hopefully we won't see a bunch of clutch destruction. It doesn't look like it. Let's see, gotta get our solenoid out of there. And of course I can't find the one tool that I need. Just makes it easier so I don't damage the casting. It's just a little tool that I made to get these clips out, so you can easily hook it in there real good. And put your clip back so you don't lose it. Just kind of easy little thing to do. Got to get your lockup solenoid bolts out, 2 10s, before we can pull the pump. I'm going to pull the rest of the valve body off though. Just unhook all your connections, EPC, maybe. The wiring harness isn't brittle, so that's good. It tells me it's not getting hot, or hasn't been. Solenoids aren't too loose, so maybe they change those, you know, the O-rings will get real bad. I mean, that one is kind of loose anyway, just the way it is. But this one, I mean, the O-ring might be flat, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It gets all new electronics regardless, so. Our 1-2 accumulator out of here. Probably got the plastic. No, metal, good. Got both springs. I'll modify that. It does have the metal accumulator, good. No need to modify unless we go to Sonic's pinless. Accumulator housing looks good. Generally, you kind of get a firm 1-2 shift with this type of a servo cover versus the later E's. It was a little deeper pocket and it changed the profile for the way the accumulator applies. You can tell by looking at the recess too, it's flat on the first, but I mean, it looks okay. Nothing wrong with it really. Your manifold pressure switch, just rotate. It's pretty dirty. I mean, I'm expecting to see that. We got a lot of goo everywhere. I mean, again, it gets replaced. Bolts are in the right place. These longer 8 mils, because I don't know if it's been built. I mean, once I get into it and see some more components, I'll have a better idea if it's ever been into. Grab the forward accumulator next off the valve body. I like to take it off of here before I pull the valve body. Maybe. Well, that's really tight on there, boy. Shouldn't be that tight. Could be the angle of the socket too. Looks like I wasn't getting on it all the way. Forward accumulator plastic, I will change this to a aluminum one or up it to a pinless. It's not cracked. If it was, you'd have burnt forward plates and issues in forward gear. Grab my magnet real quick. Check ball stuck in the plate, again common, second clutch, so it can't relieve pressure correctly, which will burn your 3/4s, eventually totally destroying them. It's stuck completely in the plate there. This one. Again, that's real common. That's why 9 times out of 10, either you repair the plate or you just replace the plate with like a Transgo plate, which is generally what I do. I'll just replace it. And then I'll use the Torlon check balls instead of the steel, because that's what causes the steel ball and the flat metal plate will, over time, causes that. valve body aside. Get the plate out of the way. Yeah, see the ball stuck in there. Oh, I missed one, but it doesn't matter. Oh, there it went. Yeah, I was just totally beat the tar out of it there. Again, it's just super common. It's a 3/4 accumulator. Those are all metal. Tip this, try and get some of the fluid out. And I'll wipe it and make a little bit better bench space. Yeah, because I only got the 6-foot tables. I wish I had the 10-foot tables. And again, I mean, they make a tool to get that out, but I use just a 30mm socket because it depresses the tabs. So you don't, if you're going to reuse the wiring harness, that way you don't damage it. See how it pushes it in around all the tabs? That way you can just gently get it out. And if you have to reuse it, you can, but I replace them. It's MIA. Of course, I can't find the damn thing. I have to edit all this out. Let's see, where in the hell is my hair tool? Oh, here it is. All right, let's see what we get. Yeah, it's got a little bubble. I don't know how well a camera will pick it up. It's got a little bubble coming out of the shaft right there. So, and it's cold. So, it's holding pressure still, right? So, it's functioning, but that's just going to be a problem in the future where I'm getting that leak there. So, being that it's cold, once it heats up, that gap will get even worse, which will increase that fluid pressure escaping. Yeah, see. All right, so it's gonna need at least to have the shaft pressed, cleaned, Loctite repressed, tested again. If it's that, then good. If not, the housing will need to be replaced. Get our bearing out of here. Maybe the shim will fall out. I mean, the 3/4s aren't, I mean, I wouldn't use that gap, but it's pretty, to me it's excessive, but they don't look totally destroyed. Maybe a little bit of wear on them. And the gap's probably 100 thou, maybe. Oh, come on. Still got the wafers, that's good. A lot of people throw them away. I'll go over the clutch pack here in a minute as soon as I get the forward and overrun out of here. Stacked up so I can go over the stack. Bearing, spacer, 2 snap rings. Go over the sprag here in a moment. Some of the plates, they don't look you know, not like bad at all. You got a little chatter and teeth gouging, more than likely from the shell. But they don't look terrible. I mean, they're definitely worn. Not burnt, they're just worn. Again, it gets all new ones, so it doesn't matter. See our overrun, our engine brake looks fine. Spacer in our wave, yeah, that's an OE plate for sure. Kind of thin. Still got the lines on them though, looking good. Get your band pin out of the way. Move this. Don't make a mess. Let's see when we rotate the shell. Yeah, it's just freewheeling, so it's broke. All right, let's see. Flashlight died on me. Let's go ahead and nab the snap ring off the output shaft. See if I get lucky on it. Oh, really? It's all, shaft looks a little gouged up. Input planet washer style because of the year it is. The hub looks good. It's all right. These new bushings. Bearing's nice. Check the planet. Yeah, the hub's fine. Bearing's good. Gets a new washer. Got to go over the sprag. Go to check our capture bearing off of the sun gear. You'll feel it grinding at all if there's any problem in that bearing down in there. So the input planet's fine. Let's check our sprag. Kind of skip the head. All right, let's see what we get. Yeah, it's got a little bubble. I don't know how well a camera will pick it up. It's got a little bubble coming out of the shaft right there. So, and it's cold. So, it's holding pressure still, right? So, it's functioning, but that's just going to be a problem in the future where I'm getting that leak there. So, being that it's cold, once it heats up, that gap will get even worse, which will increase that fluid pressure escaping. Yeah, see. All right, so it's gonna need at least to have the shaft pressed, cleaned, Loctite repressed, tested again. If that, then good. If not, the housing will need to be replaced. Get our bearing out of here. Maybe the shim will fall out. I mean, the 3/4s aren't, I mean, I wouldn't use that gap, but it's pretty, to me it's excessive, but they don't look totally destroyed. Maybe a little bit of wear on them. I mean, the gap's probably 100 thou, maybe. Oh, come on. Still got the wafers, that's good. A lot of people throw them away. I'll go over the clutch pack here in a minute as soon as I get the forward and overrun out of here. stacked up so I can go over the stack. Bearing, spacer, 2 snap rings. Go over the sprag here in a moment. Some of the plates, they don't look, you know, don't look bad at all. You got a little chatter and teeth gouging, more than likely from the shell. But they don't look terrible. I mean, they're definitely worn. Not burnt, they're just worn. Again, it gets all new ones, so it doesn't matter. See our overrun, our engine brake looks fine. Spacer in our wave, yeah, that's an OE plate for sure. Kind of thin. Still got the lines on them though, looking good. Get your band pin out of the way. Move this. Don't make a mess. Let's see when we rotate the shell. Yeah, it's just freewheeling, so it's broke. All right, let's see. Flashlight died on me. Let's go ahead and nab the snap ring off the output shaft. See if I get lucky on it. Oh, really? It's all, shaft looks a little gouged up. Input planet washer style because of the year it is. The hub looks good. It's all right. These new bushings. Bearing's nice. Check the planet. Yeah, the hub's fine. Bearing's good. Gets a new washer. Got to go over the sprag. Go to check our capture bearing off of the sun gear. You'll feel it grinding at all if there's any problem in that bearing down in there. So the input planet's fine. Let's check our sprag. Kind of skip the head. Yeah, so it has been into, because it doesn't have the gold single cage. Well, maybe not. I'll have to look and see when GM changed to the SKF. But it is a single cage, needs to be a double cage. Again, the bushing's worn out. The race is nice, still has cross hatching. Overrun hub is good, there's no lip. That's good. Yep, shell, snap the collar. This is expecting to see. Washer's still okay, because they didn't drive it far. Stop driving it. Get the case support ring out. Maybe. Oh, you mother. Clunk spring out of there. So, I mean, I'm not gonna bore you with taking the extension housing off or the piston off. That's all that's left, is the piston. And we'll go over the reverse clutches and stuff here. Low and reverse. There goes the glove. Yeah, I mean, don't look too bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they started the turbulators in '98. I could have swore though it wasn't until 2000. And the low and reverse look all right. Nothing crazy, no burns. Glove's got to go. I'll deal with it for a moment here. Yeah, see, I mean, if someone would have been in here, I would have expected them to upgrade the sprag, the low roller sprag, but they did not. It's just the original. It's still the wide version, but it's not the updated sprag version. You know, usually if it's really worn out, it'll fall out. It doesn't feel worn out, doesn't look worn out, but again, I always update that with the newer version. The race looks nice, nothing crazy. There's a collar off of the sun shell, the sun gear. Bushing looks nice. I mean, it gets a new one, but it looks good. Our rear planet. Again, checking the rear captured bearing. See, like I had one just the other day. They paid like, I don't know, 900 bucks or something for it. Bought it from somebody off Facebook, local, like 800 or something like that. And due to that builder just using used parts and not checking things, he didn't check that bearing, or he had a loose planet. This is what ended up happening to their unit in 50 miles. Totally destroyed. You know, I mean, it's pretty bad, but I've actually seen this crack in half before. But I mean, even the ring gear is wasted, you know, from when it chewed and spit that out. But that's why it's important to either, you know, you really got to check that bearing and make sure there's no weird wobble on that at all, or you'll end up like that. So you got to watch where you're getting your units from. I mean, I've done so many, I can tell by feeling the dang thing. Yeah, it feels great. And again, if you have any wear in that bearing, you will feel it when you're pushing down on this, rolling that bearing. I mean, if you know what you're feeling for, but it's good. Nothing wrong there. Your rear bearing, it's fine. Planet the ring gear, it's good. The ring gear itself looks great. I can see where the gear's been tracking right in the center. I mean, that's really good shape. So not a bad build, really. It's gonna need a shell, obviously. The pump kit, both the sprags, valve body plate. I'll have to vacuum test the valve body and all that stuff. I won't know its particulars till I'm done with that. That's the only thing. You gotta get it really clean, then you gotta get it really dry, and then you can vacuum test it. But you really won't get an accurate reading on your test like that until you do that. So let's see, let me make sure I'm right. So yeah, we need sprag, internal electronics, shell. Oh, let's check our shaft. That's probably fine. Yep, output shaft's good. So it needs like a basic master kit, sun shell, both sprags, internal electronics, including the harness, pump kit, and that's it. He'll be good to go, and a new converter. And of course, all cleaned up, checked, restacked, new end plays, you know, new clutch pack clearances. And also too, I still have to pull the little capsule out of there, check that. A lot of times, those almost always need replaced. Some guys will block them. I don't do that. I just replace it and just run it with a new part, with a new Delco capsule. So yeah, I appreciate everybody watching, and don't forget to, you know, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll keep the videos coming out as much as I can. Thanks for watching, everybody.